They called it a signal anomaly. That was the official entry in the Varath Collective's internal registry. 31 years of covert observation, infrastructure seeded across 9 of our colony systems, logged as routine navigational interference, background noise, a bureaucratic footnote filed under a classification code that, when translated into standard, meant something close to environmental static. I have read that registry, every page of it. What it actually contained was us. The Varath embedded the lattices slowly, 1 per system per decade, timed to our own survey cycles. So the installation windows fell in the gaps our telescopes weren't watching. Each lattice was passive, no signal of its own, no power signature above the threshold our sweep protocols would flag. They simply listened. They recorded deployment rotations, maintenance windows, command handoffs, schedules. They mapped our civilian population densities against our shift change rhythms. They built, over 3 decades of patient silence, complete picture of when and where we were most exposed. Then they used it. The strike came at 0600 station time across 14 colony installations simultaneously. Shift change. The civilian sections were fully staffed for the incoming rotation, and the outgoing watch had not yet cleared the common areas. The Varath had run the calculation and selected that window because it maximized the overlap. It did not catch us unaware by accident. It caught us unaware because they had spent 31 years learning exactly how to do it. 2,412,601 dead. That is the number. I do not round it. I do not say over 2 million or nearly 2.5 million the way a news relay might, smoothing the edge off a figure too large to hold. I say the number as it appears in the casualty registry. The same registry I still carry in my personal archive, because I made a decision early on that I would not allow myself the comfort of approximation. The Varath sent no message after the strike, no ultimatum, no declaration, no statement of grievance. In their framework, the act required no annotation. They had observed, assessed, and acted. The outcome was the communication. This response began not with warships but with analysts. The lattices the Varath left behind were passive listeners, but they were also physical infrastructure, and physical infrastructure leaves traces. Our engineers spent 11 weeks pulling every lattice out of our colony systems, intact where possible. What came out of those 11 weeks was something the Varath had not modeled in their calculation. Their own 31 years of observation, reversed. The lattices had recorded us. They had also, in recording us, recorded themselves, their installation patterns, maintenance, access, protocols. The precise gravitational signatures of the relay nodes they had positioned in the outer belts of Varath home, space to aggregate the data stream. When you spend 3 decades watching someone, you leave marks. We found every one of them. I received my orders on the 94th day after the strike. The Sentinel answer, 1,600 warships, would depart on day 120. I was given command because I had been the senior officer at Harrow Station when the attack came, and because I had not been on duty during the shift change, and because whoever made the assignment decided that mattered, that I should be the one to carry the accounting forward. I did not dispute the reasoning. I understood it. Crossed the transit corridor in formation. No advanced signal, no diplomatic channel opened. The Varath's own relay nodes, still in place, still active, because we had left them there deliberately, confirmed our approach geometry down to the meter. We arrived at the edge of the Varath primary system at 0600s. Their administrative cycle start. We had chosen the time the same way they had chosen theirs. We used the data they had gathered. Targeting package was built entirely from the Lattice archive. 31 years of their own observation told us the location of every Varath installation, every aggregate hub, every infrastructure node in their 4 core systems. We had not needed to send scouts. We had not needed to guess. They had mapped themselves for us, in the process of mapping us, and we had simply read the record they left. 1,600 warships struck 1,409 targets across 4 systems inside a single operational window. We did not engage Varath warships where we could bypass them. We were not there to fight a war. We were there to close an account, and the account had a specific number in it, and we were precise about how we arrived at that number. When the operational window closed, I stood at the viewport and looked at what remained of the primary relay hub. A slow bloom of cooling debris catching the light of the Varath star, expanding at the rate such things expand, patient and absolute. No Varath transmission came, no channel opened. That too required no annotation. I filed the after-action report on the transit back to Earth space. In the field reserved for engagement classification, I wrote, "Response to coordinated strike, Varath Collective. Accounting closed." In the field reserved for notes, I wrote the number, the full number, exactly as it appears in the casualty registry, because the response was built around that number, and it seemed important that the record show the two figures together, what they took and what we answered with, in the same document, on the same line, so that anyone who reads it later will understand the relationship between them. They called it a signal anomaly. We called it what it was.